Make the most of your time in the morning with Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Just a beautiful day in central New York. If you squint hard enough, I think you can see Homestyle Pizzeria in Schenectady about 2 hours away.
There you go. Okay. The hometown.
Here's Garrett Shrader on 3rd and 7. Downfield. Strikeout. What an effort to go up and try to get it. Yamari Hatcher, but it's incomplete. As Morrison again was targeted, the true freshman corner for the Irish. At his feet here.
What an acrobatic effort there by Hatcher. As you can see that right foot just out of bounds. Unbelievable try, though, as they continue to go after the freshman Benjamin Morris.
I mean, for Hatcher to go up, high point that, spin in midair, and just miss hitting the white. Second straight 3 and out for Syracuse. As Brandon Joseph, very dangerous. You found that out right away today. Von Marburg's punt, fair catch at the 45. Katie.
Think about this, guys. Tommy Rees was 24 years old when he met Drew Pine in 2017. He almost views Pine like a little brother. They've grown so close over the years. So Rees feels comfortable holding Pine to a really high standard, whether he communicates that mildly like today or not, if you remember the Do Your Job video. Pine says he appreciates the expectations Rees has for him. Let's see if he can deliver.
You mentioned the video that went viral when there was the phone call from the box down to the field. But listen, they have a very close relationship, and they grow with it. And now Pine back out there with Logan Diggs, and they quickly get it to Styles, and Styles able to surge ahead just beyond midfield.
And we talked early about Tommy Rees and trying to get his quarterback started. And I really like their plan so far. I mean, I know it's only been 27 yards and he's only thrown 5 passes, but all 5 passes for the most part have been high percentage completions, with the exception of the 3rd and long that he missed just a little bit too low. They've gotten him started and their quarterback is settling in, even though the stats don't necessarily reflect it just yet.
Diggs on 2nd and 5. Diggs was meant by Jones, who everybody in the program considers the heart and soul, but that final push by Notre Dame brings the ball to the 42-yard line. So it's a first down for the Irish.
Excellent effort there by Diggs and that offensive line, just pushing that pile and picking up the extra yards. Looked like it was going to be about 3rd and 2, and then they were well beyond the first down line. This would be a spot right here, though, maybe a heavy play action, throw it over their heads with a fresh set of downs.
So after Diggs goes for 2 yards and is pushed for 5, here's first down from the 42.
Based on the defensive look, though, pretty soft defensive. I don't know if you want to try it there.
Syracuse, it was the free safety, Cinco Clark, the transfer from Rutgers, with the tackle.
And this is just a beautiful double team on the left-hand side between Jared Patterson, who used to be the center, and Zeke Correll right there, just pushing that defender right off the line of scrimmage and getting Diggs into the open field. Same motion right there. It might be the same play.
Just went for 16 yards. Do they go back to it?
It is.
It is. Diggs. This time he was met and then spun his way for a few more. Jones with the tackle.
Right there, Tommy Rees. That's a pass-to-run check right there. They have a pass play called, but based on the defense's alignment, Drew Pine will make the adjustment and audible to a run play. He brings the tight end in, and then they hand it off. So giving a lot of freedom to their quarterback to get him in the right play against a defense that likes to go with some pretty confusing looks.
Motion Tyree as well as the tight ends into a tight formation. Tyree just tripped up as it was Darton who made the tackle. The sawed-off nose tackle, who's listed as a generous 5'11".
You can see, I mean, he's so active and disruptive, and not the biggest guy in the world, but man, he can break free It's like trying to block a 260-pound bar of soap. As you can see, at 266, generously lifted as the height and the weight. As you can see, look at the top defenses in America, what they average. Georgia, Bama, 6'4", 300 pounds, so well undersized and yet still playing at a very high level.
Third and 4, pressure off the edge. Pine gets it complete, and he does so to Michael Mayer.
Mayer had a little bit of the turf monster there, and yet still secured the catch. You can see just kind of stubs his toe. Was able to reel it in anyways. Next year, Mayer, you'll be able to take off like that, but here at the college level, when knee touches the ground, the ball is dead.
Estime, little stutter step, and he's inside the 10-yard line.
I really like the way Estime is running today. He's been decisive. He's just a battering ram, man. Just dropping that helmet and just going. It's going to be difficult for Syracuse. You got to hit him low. I mean, at 230 pounds, you got to hit him below the waist. It's the only chance you have to stop him.
Second down, Estime straight ahead. It'll be third and less than 1 from there. Garrett Williams with the tackle.
I don't know how you justify running any other offensive play than that play right here. And you have 2 downs to get it.
This is a bowling ball downhill time and again.
Marcus Freeman is not happy with the officials allowing Syracuse to substitute.
Not going to matter because Estime can't be stopped between the tackles right now. It's first and goal.
And Marcus is beside himself. He's saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. But Syracuse is running players on. As you can see, he's beside himself. Very, very frustrated. Lets the official know about it. Ultimately didn't affect the result, but
that get-back coach had no shot there.
Zero
no
chance.
Shot.
Yeah, there's some coaches that can be restrained. That would not be one that I would feel good about.
Beatty would have a better shot for proximity. Let's play the drive here. The up back is Estime. This time he's met. Syracuse's front does their job, and Cinco Clark came in with that run fit as well.
And that was just darting right there, number 45. I mean, just knifing inside Josh Lugg, the right guard. Watch number 45 right here, and watch how low he gets and blowing it up. Just 266 pounds, man, and yet splits the double team and stops the run.
Second and goal. Diggs. And he's in. Irish touchdown, Logan Diggs. One green jersey in a sea of orange. Clapping.
He's pretty well defended, as you can see. Syracuse holding on for dear life. But Diggs just squirms a little bit to the right and finds pay dirt. As you see the ball across the plane, just nice effort there by Diggs.
And the play calling against Dino Baber's crew there, Greg, more of what you expected.
It's a simple recipe for the Irish right now. They got to grind Syracuse out.
So Tommy Reese, his third year as the play caller. It's an easy formula when it looks that way. A heavy dose of straight ahead running. And went for 11 plays and 55 yards. And it finishes with Logan Diggs with the touchdown. And with that, it's a touchdown lead for the Irish.
And it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Wakanda showed us all that nothing is impossible. So how will you share your brilliance with the world? Keep forging your own path. And keep shining for everyone to see. After all, you never know where you'll find inspiration to bring the next great idea to life.
See Marvel Studios' Black Panther: Wakanda Forever in theaters November 11th.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again.
This Always Ultra Thin is our best yet. It wicks gushes 90% faster and absorbs even more for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort. This is triple protection from Always.
A Corona and palm trees.
A Corona and calm seas.
And a balm breeze.
And our strong knees.
It's Andy and Snoop.
And we're eating Guam cheese.
Guam cheese?
Yeah, I don't know. I ran out of rhymes.
Come be a part of a once-in-a-lifetime celebration filled with once-in-a-lifetime magic you don't want to miss at the Walt Disney World 50th Anniversary Celebration. Only through March 31st, 2023.
She's not Kat Medina delivering pizza in her 2003 hatchback. She's Kat Medina, bringer of sustenance, provider of all things greasy and caloric.
Beautiful day in Baltimore, where most people will probably know that Geico could save them money on car insurance, right? But you see, the thing is, Geico, well, could help them save on boat insurance too. Oi! Okay, I'm ready to come in now. Hello?
I'm trying my best.
Seriously, I'm serious. Request to come ashore.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Attention honky tonkers.
The Goldbergs, saddle up.
I'll be Miss Lula Blaze.
With Miss Blaze and Barry.
Not Barry, Bronco.
In a boot-scootin' hoedown.
Whoa! Oh.
New Goldbergs, ABC Wednesday.
There's a commercial with all of us. Turn on the TV.
Tariq is in town.
You guys are going out tonight?
It's just going to be a little catch-up session for dinner.
Did you pick those flowers out of my garden?
No.
Come on, let's go.
Kevin and Boog in studio. Time now for a mayhem moment brought to you by Allstate. Boog and Happy Valley. This is the big play Penn State needed.
Yeah, Ohio State gets aggressive, brings the blitz. Penn State breaks a tackle. And Sean Clifford, just like Greg McElroy, gets the benefit of a long run by the receiver.
Yeah. Go with the yak. Parker Washington, 58 yards, 10-7 tests. Greg.
There's a lot of fire coming from the studio towards you.
You don't have to draw a picture on the scorecard, Boog. You just had write down your score. 58-yard touchdowns, 58 touchdowns.
Katie?
You know, Testino Baber said after you play Clemson, they're so physical, you have to find a way to heal. He said you have wounds and bruises that must be addressed. He said physically, he doesn't feel like his teams in the past have responded well because of the lack of depth. And Greg, I'm just curious, you faced a physical team a week ago. You're facing a team that's super physical and running it down your throat. How does that weigh on you?
It's the worst. I remember we used to play LSU and then follow it up with Mississippi State. And it was, by the time you got through that 2-week span, it was just agony. You lived in the cold tub.
Little high for Sean Tucker.
And it does take its toll, but that's obviously, when you look at Syracuse, they are excellent. But when they play against Clemson, we know they've played them probably better than anybody for the most part in the last handful of seasons, but they haven't always responded well. Of course, got the win against Western Michigan, and then last year had a tricky game on the road at Virginia Tech, found a way, but for the most part, after what's normally pretty good performances against Clemson, they have not responded great under the circumstances.
Tucker on 2nd and 10. And 3rd and 7. After Justin Adamilova makes the tackle of Sean Tucker.
Syracuse has to figure out a way to get that run game going. Of course, Shrader's taken great strides as a passer this year. He's become much more accurate, but the heart and soul of their offense is the run game involving both Sean Tucker and Garrett Shrader, but Shrader's been quiet with his legs today as well.
But 20% on his completion percentage. They go underneath to Tucker, and that is gobbled up by J.D. Bertrand. And he leads the Irish in tackles.
this is just wonderful recognition by Bertrand. As you see, defensive coordinator Al Colton's got to love it. Trying to set up the screen right here. But Bertrand, number 27, sniffs it out immediately and drops Tucker in the backfield. Just excellent discipline there by the Irish defense.
Brandon Joseph back again, third punt for Max von Marburg and Cuse. And he skies this and drives it down to the 22. Joseph made the first man miss and a decent return as he works his way to the 36. High above the JMA Dome on just a spectacular autumn day in central New York.
Took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. Then we took a hard left in East Africa. A right at Baja. A 180 in the empty quarter. And that 65-degree incline at Hell's Revenge. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
I've never watched Patrick's practice jersey. Superstitious.
No need to get that personal. State Farm Personal Price Plan, it just helps you create an affordable price.
Ugh.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This season, the Home Depot is helping every fan out-fan themselves.
Fans like the ultimate entertainers. Nice move. And then you have your true diehards. Nice work.
The all-out competitors.
And of course, the absolute fanatics.
This season, go all out.
Gear up with Kohler touchless faucets from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
As I sat there taking out zombies with my best friend, I thought, isn't it great that T-Mobile's network is powerful enough to bring high-speed home internet across the country?
Pay attention, a zombie's eating my brain.
And I thought about the great deal I was getting. T-Mobile home internet is just $50 a month.
Focus! Oh.
Just $50 a month. No price hikes, no monthly fees.
T-Mobile home internet.
Pizza. The network that powers your phone now powers your home internet.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Whopper, 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 Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Impossible or Bacon Whopper. I rule this day. BK, have it your way.
We got to look at ourselves as coaches first and say, okay, why didn't we execute the way we were supposed to, the way we wanted to? Right? And then we got to make sure we go and we evaluate and find ways to make sure this doesn't happen. We're a good football team that doesn't always play that way.
We had a great visit with Marcus Freeman yesterday. Very self-aware, very honest with assessing what has happened this year, but what he believes this program is to its core, and holding each other accountable. This would be a good, solid road win against number 16, tough Syracuse team. They've played better on the road as Notre Dame. Pine to pass on first down.
Marcus Freeman, he's had some criticisms this year, but I'll tell you who also had an up and down start. Kirby Smart.
That worked out pretty well.
Elite defensive mind, tenacious recruiter, and yet, look, through the first 7 games, not so great. Of course, the next year they took a huge leap. The one thing that Marcus Freeman's proven, though, is the relationship with the players is phenomenal, and he is an excellent recruiter. The results will come. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Estime, big back. Tries to bounce it to the outside and stiff arms his way past Cinco Clark. I mean, Aldrich Estime just flattened Cinco Clark on the edge.
Man, I mean, look at the strength right here. I mean, just at full extension. Wow. I mean, that is powerful right there.
3rd down and 5. Irish 3 of 5 on 3rd down so far this afternoon. Drew Pine on 3rd and 5. Just a 3-man rush, 8-man coverage, and it's incomplete, well beyond Matt Salerno.
Just a little bit off the mark there for Drew Pine. Still have to wonder. I mean, every time Notre Dame drops back to throw it, you almost scratch your head. I know you got to have some semblance of balance, but there really has been no answer so far for Estime and Diggs from Syracuse's defense. They decide to throw it on 1st and 10, RPO, quarterback throws it away, and now you're off schedule.
John Sott, his 2nd punt today, was able to frame this one up, get decent hang time. Now it's muffed for a moment, but Pena trying to fight to get it back. Notre Dame claiming they have it. Let's see what comes out of this pile.
I mean, it squeaked out to the side, and there were 2 Irish players right there ready to pounce on it, but I don't know if they were able to get it away from Pena, who was also fighting for it.
And they are saying Syracuse was able to recover it. This is what happened at the end here. Pena loses it. Tries to jump on it, and then it goes out to the side. How in the world did Syracuse end up with that?
I mean, 2 Irish players right there, and Pena reels it in.
Oh man, that's cool. I'm really liking what you're doing with the overall shape.
She's a little shy right now. She understands she's being painted.
Opening shot. A car comes in to the front.
Oh, Birdie, come on, yes!
Are you golfing?
No! Yes! I'm good at this.
Get up, get moving, and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Just step into the shower with Just for Men Control GX shampoo. The first and only shampoo that blends away a little gray with every wash for a subtle, natural look. Control GX from Just for Men.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach! Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
It was my son Jaden's 5th birthday, and he wanted Chick-fil-A.
My husband was a Marine. Her husband's a Marine. Her husband had been gone for almost 6 months at that time, and I just knew that we had to do something extra special for him.
When I get to the door, actually, I was very surprised.
We brought the cow out and delivered to them. Do you know who that is?
Jaden was really excited about it.
I wanted to be that extra family for them that night.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
No 2 dreams are the same. But there is one van equipped to handle them all. For over 120 years, Mercedes-Benz vans have been built, upfitted, and ready to go. Because we believe dreams should never stay that way.
It's going to be a great show.
The CMA Awards, live November 9th on ABC.
Just under 6 minutes before halftime, Syracuse with the ball, trailing by a touchdown against the Irish. Shrader keeps it, and it's a good decision.
Well, guys, Dino Babers spent some time with offensive coordinator Robert Anae and quarterbacks coach Jason Beck on the sidelines, a meeting of the minds, if you will. Greg, that's a good start. If you're Dino, what do you have to see on this drive?
They haven't really featured the quarterback run, and obviously they've gotten Tucker started running the football. Now you got to start getting into some quarterback run game as well.
Shrader just went for 9 yards. 2nd and 1. Backs up to his own 23-yard line before launching it out of bounds. Syracuse threw a pick 6 on their first play. Then a 7-play touchdown drive. But Greg, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out their last 3 possessions.
And that was Shrader on the 9-yard run just a moment ago. I mean, that was his first carry of the game. So it's going to be really important, I think, as they continue to sell out completely against Sean Tucker, who's having a nice game, averaging almost 5 yards a carry. You got to have something that's going to be able to complement that run game and keep Notre Dame just a little bit off balance.
Third and 1. Tucker, and he's going to have the first down. First down for Syracuse since 14:45 to go in this second quarter.
This Notre Dame defense has been very, very good at times this year, and so far today, obviously a pick 6 and forcing several 3 and outs. It's been a pretty good response from the Irish after that opening drive touchdown after the pick 6.
Free play for Shrader. Now they're going to say we're going to call things here as Foskey was well across the line.
Offside. Number 7 defense unabated. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
AT&T 5G Skycam here at the JMA Dome today.
It's an awesome scene. Here is the buzz for Syracuse football. It's about as high as it's been in a couple decades.
Back-to-back sellouts. 1st and 5. Opportunity for Tucker trying to reverse field. And he's able just to get it to the 46-yard line as Foskey was waiting on him for the tackle. Had a great visit with John Wildhack, the athletic director here at Syracuse yesterday. They got a $150 million capital campaign. Just bring this campus more and more to life. I think they made great improvements in recent years to the dome, as you could see by our great aerials today. 2nd and 4, Shrader, pressure up the middle, able to extend the play before eventually getting into the grasp of Foskey. And for Isaiah Foskey, that's now 22 and a half career sacks. He's just 2 behind the all-time Notre Dame record set by Justin Tuck.
Just a relentless effort there by Foskey. He was kind of locked up, and see him, he's actually kind of hesitating as he's matched up with Mang, because he knows that Shrader's such a great runner, so he can't rush with crazy violence and aggressiveness because Shrader can get out the gate. So he's kind of staying at home, and Shrader eventually fell right into him.
3rd down and 11. 4-man rush against Shrader. Drives the ball, but low into the outside of Devon Cooper. So the punt team will head on out.
Shrader frustrated with Cooper there. There was zone coverage, and Shrader looked at him and told him after the throw, looked like it was way off target, but if Cooper settles down in that zone, it's going to be a pretty easy completion. Just not on the same page with his wide receiver.
4th straight punt for Syracuse. And it's a tumbler. Takes a bounce, and Joseph will return it. And gets himself to the 29-yard line. The Irish will have 3 minutes to work with before halftime with a touchdown lead.
So?
The new iPhone 14 Pro. It's amazing.
Yep, the camera is incredible. And you'll get our best deal.
Nice, but everyone should get it.
Everyone can get it.
Every new customer.
And every existing customer.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Okay, my work here is done. Everyone gets the best deal on every iPhone.
Best one yet.
Everyone gets AT&T's best deals on every iPhone, including up to $800 off iPhone 14 Pro.
Are you coming for my job?
The new Subway Series menu, the greatest sandwich roster ever assembled.
For more on the new boss, here's Patrick Mahomes.
Incredible. Meatballs, fresh mozzarella, and pepperoni.
Oh, the meatball's out. I thought he never fumbles. The new Subway Series. What's your pick?
Pack all the things. Roll with the punches. Then go when you wanna. Go with heart. Go with Southwest.
Oh, hi. What's this? A hospital bill? For $1,100?
Looks like your wallet may need a sling, too.
Tell me about it. Did that goat say Gap?
He's talking about expenses that health insurance doesn't cover.
Well, I'm talking about the money Aflac pays to help close that gap.
Aflac, huh?
That ducted motor.
Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Aflac is an official sponsor of ESPN College Game Day.
On an eerie Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
You said you want a new coach, right?
Behold, the coaching carousel.
33! Drive! Hit the hole! Don't dance
So
to
how
it!
do you pick?
You don't. It picks for you.
42X out.
A esto le dicen fútbol. That's the international soccer coach.
Esto es fútbol!
The wrong football. El fútbol de Dr. Pepper.
Go State!
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
I like to boost it. My vitamins can boost it. I like to boost it. We like to boost it.
Boost. Vitamin Boost.
Boost it.
Ready for your speech, General? Slight detour. We will take care of them.
I have a speech to give.
The first ever fully electric Lexus RZ 450e. Empower a future that lasts forever. See Marvel Studios' Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, only in theaters.
For too long, spicy fast food has been anything but. No more. Spice Nirvana awaits at Arby's. Just say, I'll have a Diablo sandwich and loaded fries. Arby's, we have the meat.
College football presented by Arby's on ABC is brought to you by Burger King. Your Whopper, your way. You rule.
Two of the all-time greats, Dick McPherson and Coach P, Paul Pasqualoni. So much success here at Syracuse. By the way, Coach P's son, Tito, is going to be an excellent young coach in the business. He has started his career as a coach.
So many great coaches came from that tree, right? I mean, George DeLeon.
Oh, yes.
So many great coaches.
Morgan Diggs goes ahead for 2 yards. Irish have had it their way between the tackles running the ball. Pine looking for an option and finding one with Colsey. As Colsey is out past midfield.
Really nicely done here by Pine. Doesn't like the guy in the flat, gets to number 2, turns his shoulders. You see how he turns that left shoulder, puts that camera 1 is on that left shoulder for a right-handed quarterback. Put camera 1 on the target and deliver it, man. Really nicely done there by the quarterback.
21 yards from Drew Pine, the sophomore from New Canaan, Connecticut. Play action on first down. Look at the time he has. And it is intercepted. Jahad Carter. And he's got blockers in front as Carter takes it past midfield. And it's a golden opportunity for the Orange.
And this is just a force right here. Look at how much depth all these defenders are getting. And guess what? You're going to see his back right out here in the flat, wide open. The guy's dropping out underneath Mayer, and you have a back. Your check down. You got to take the check down right there. When you see all these guys just turning with their backs to you, running out underneath, as you can see Mayer jumping up and tipping it into Carter's hand. Just a bad decision there by Pine, trying to force it in there to his tight end when he should have opted for the check down.
And think of how high that ball was with 6'4" Michael Mayer and his athletic ability to go all the way up just to get a finger on it, and then it falls into the hands of Carter, who returns it to the 42-yard line. So now, minute 42 to work with, and you can see that look on the face of Drew Pine. And they're dealing with an injury on the Syracuse sideline, right at midfield. So the officials are taking a timeout, as at the end of that play, there was an injury. And fortunately for Syracuse, it's Garrett Williams, their outstanding cornerback, who missed last week's game, and he is a big-time NFL prospect. So as they take care of Garrett Williams, we have the opportunity to visit with Kevin Nagandi and Booger.
Thank you so much. Capital One halftime report just minutes away. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi, as you just mentioned, Tess. We're going to keep an eye on some other games here. How about Penn State and the big play we're seeing in the offense in the second quarter?
Yeah, 2 turnovers by the offense early, then they bounced back. The defense is holding Ohio State down. That'll be big in the second half.
Humongous test for that Ohio State defense, coming in number 2 in the country overall. We'll have highlights. Also preview Georgia, Florida, and Kentucky, Tennessee. Back to you.
Greg, let's talk about Kentucky and Tennessee for a moment. Can Kentucky find a way to slow down that Vols offense?
It'll be tricky. The last time a team scored more than 24 points against Kentucky, it was Tennessee last year. Their defense has been awesome all year long. They just haven't been able to run the football with the same level of effectiveness. So would anticipate that becoming a bit of a shootout tonight in Lexington.
No, a bit of a shootout is not what Kentucky wants to do. Obviously, they want to shorten that game. But listen, we've learned anything in SEC football, it is anything can happen week to week. And, you know, it's so funny because everybody went into that league this year saying, it's so top-heavy. It's Alabama and Georgia and everybody else. Not so fast. There is Tennessee, among the very best teams in the country, and already with a signature.
And hang on a second, don't forget about LSU.
They're playing great ball right now.
Something happened, I don't know what, but something happened in the last 2 weeks because that offense has come alive, and Jaden Daniels looks like the prospect he was always meant to become.
Ole Miss found that out last week. Jaden Daniels with a sensational performance as LSU is rolling, and Alabama will have a tough test with the Tigers, and that is not a good scene with Garrett Williams limping into the medical tent and being helped there, and you can see the look on his face filled with emotion. This is the injury and how it happened at the end of the play.
Yeah, and you see him blocking, and that left leg kind of gets rolled up underneath, and you see him grab his knee. Just terrible scene there.
And now Shrader being pressured, tries to spin free, and has to throw it away. And that was J.D. Bertrand who was pressuring Garrett Shrader.
A big opportunity here for Syracuse. You get sudden change. Notre Dame gets the ball in the second half, so very important for his offense to find a little life. As you see, Dino Babers just haven't had really any answers after the second drive.
Second and 10, pressure again. This time they pick it up. Shrader downfield, but through to the outside of Sean Tucker and short. It'll be third down.
Twice now, Notre Dame opting to bring pressure on consecutive plays. And just no separation in the back end from Syracuse's wide receivers.
Al Golden, defensive coordinator, Notre Dame, came straight to the Irish after finishing up his duties as the linebacker coach for the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Of course, best known for being the head coach at Miami and Temple. And can his defense find a stop here after the interception? Third and 10. They're going to stay on the ground with Tucker, who just spins inside the 40, wrapped up by Jason Ademilola.
That play right there was an indicator to me that they were planning on going for it here on fourth down. At least make the field goal a little bit easier for Schmidt.
And timeout is used by Notre Dame.
You're right on the cusp here. I mean, Schmidt, obviously an outstanding and decorated field goal kicker, but that is a long kick. Got a 57-yarder, I feel like, from right here.
Sunday NFL Countdown is going to get you going at 8:30 in the morning on ESPN tomorrow. Broncos Jaguars, remember, on ESPN Plus from London at 9:30 a.m. And Bengals Browns kickoff Monday night countdown gets started at 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday night. So a busy NFL weekend after what is a sensational Saturday of college football that starts right here in central New York on ABC, with the Irish up 7 on the 16th ranked Orange. 4th and 7.
And the guy that they got to find here, Oronde Gadsden, by far their best wide receiver, been a little bit quiet. Targeted him 4 times, but only 1 reception, and that was a touchdown. Let's see if they find him here on a critical 4th down.
Shrader on 4th and 7. With a man in his face, a wobbler goes incomplete, was looking for Cooper, and it was J.D. Bertrand who was right in Garrett Shrader's face defensively, so a turnover on downs.
Right there, it looked like Bertrand actually tipped the pass. And Shrader's moving out to his right, loves that he escapes, and then the receiver escapes with him. Look, as soon as he breaks contain, you have Cooper who's coming with him as well, but it does look like, as you can see, Bertrand gets a hand on that football and causes it to flutter and drop incomplete. Just a great play there by Notre Dame.
So Drew Pine back out on the field with the Irish after throwing the interception on that last possession. They have 2 timeouts, a minute 18 to work with. Empty set as he splits Tyree out. Pine is going to try to run to that edge, and he scoots out. But he tucked that ball early and got out. A minute 10 remains. Jason Simmons chased him down.
I like the idea here. If I'm Notre Dame, at some point, yes, running the football is the pathway to victory here for the Irish here today, but at some point they need to kind of get their quarterback going. Got off to a nice start, but kind of forced one a second to go, and seen him now at just 5 of 10 with the interception. So you got to get your quarterback going, see if you can't get him into a bit of a rhythm heading into the second half.
Tyree on 2nd and 7. And this is right at midfield, which will move the chains and stop the clock momentarily. So it's a 1st down for the Irish.
You just watch the right side of the offensive line. I mean, it's just plowing Notre Dame at right side, along with Mayer, who's an excellent blocker in his own right, just pushing those Syracuse defensive linemen off the ball.
Marcus Freeman wants them to snap here. Remember, they have the 2 timeouts. Clock is counting down after they reset with the 1st down. Pine with time. Shallow cross is incomplete. Off of Mayer again.
So far, Syracuse has done a really nice job on Mayer. I mean, one-on-one right here is Mayer working against Simmons, and Simmons all over him.
The All-American Mayer only has 1 catch for 6 yards. Tipped a ball that was intercepted not long ago. 2nd and 10. Delayed pressure. Pine going to go downfield. He's got his All-American, and it's into the hands of Michael Mayer. And now, with a half minute to go before halftime, the Irish are in business. 37 yards to Mayer.
Just a thing of beauty here by Drew Pine. You have excellent pressure off the right-hand side by Linton, but look at how Pine steps up firm in the pocket, and still it's difficult to do this. When you step up and you're forced to be a little bit late to still get the ball downfield enough, oftentimes when you move, that ball's going to be underthrown. He gets it just downfield enough to get it over Barron's head and finds a nice matchup with Mayer. One of the few times Mayer's had one-on-one, and he wins downfield.
And with that, he is now all-time with receiving yards for a tight end in Notre Dame history, passing Tyler Eifert. Just a sensational talent is Michael Mayer.
I love him. I just love how he blocks. He's physical, man. He's cut from the old school cloth.
Pine on first down. Goes underneath to Mayer, who breaks free inside the 5. Tries to reach out, but he is marked down with 22 seconds remaining at the 3-yard line.
Be careful, Michael Mayer. I know you're strong, but do not reach out because that ball could have very easily been fumbled into the end zone. You wipe points off the board. Great run after catch, but don't extend, big fella.
There's Tyrese, the running back. Let's see if he gets to work. They have 1 timeout remaining. First and goal. Play action off of it to the end zone. Touchdown, Irish, Jaden Thomas. And that was a very well-managed minute plus by Tommy Rees, Drew Pine, and the Irish offense. 6 plays after they swap turnovers, and the Irish come right down the field and score before halftime. Groupie adds the extra point after the touchdown by Jaden Thomas, a young man who they think could be a very big part of their future.
Just beautiful design. You fake that, and then you just get one-on-one with your tight end there as the corner's kind of going to peek inside. It's a difficult matchup anyways. I mean, you get a long tight end that can be a little bit more physical. And you're able to get it in a one-on-one spot when you've been just gashed on the ground. It's natural that Syracuse would certainly be looking inside for the run game as the head coach and the offensive coordinator, Marcus Freeman and Tommy Rees, respectively. Just an outstanding sequence.
And, you know, for Tommy Rees to have him around during a season like this, a guy who can relate to the players, he was one, can understand the highs and lows and how to navigate all the pressure of Notre Dame, the unique pressure of Notre Dame when you start a season the way they have. And here we go again with Notre Dame on the road. What is it about Notre Dame on the road?
It's not like they're playing bad teams on the road either. I mean, obviously you go to North Carolina, team in the top 25. BYU at one point, a team that was in the top 25. Of course, Syracuse firmly in the top 25. I don't know what it is, but
Pena on the return for Syracuse, as he's able to utilize his blocks and get out towards the 30-yard line. Reminder, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, road-tested, game-ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Are you ready for the road to New York with me tonight, Greg McElroy? Because we're going to be heading down there to Madison Square Garden for Vasily Lomachenko, one of the pound-for-pound great fighters of the generation, making his return against Jermaine Ortiz. That is tonight from Madison Square Garden on ESPN+. And truly, folks, one of the great stories in sports as Vasily Lomachenko left the prime of his career last winter to go fight for his country and serve his country in Ukraine. Unbelievable. And tonight he makes his return. Sean Tucker goes nowhere. Guy was set to make millions of dollars and said, no, I'm passing. My country, my family needs me. Went to Ukraine. He's back tonight on ESPN+. The Capital One halftime report is still to come. 21-7, Notre Dame, as they score before the half. Drew Pine with the touchdown pass moments ago.
Notre Dame, Syracuse's defense has to step up.
They do.
Especially here early in the second half. We're hearing, at least we will hear in just a minute from Katie, about the health of Garrett Shrader and the fact that he might not be available in the second half because of injury. So with the backup quarterback, they got to figure out a way to get off the field defensively.
Notre Dame will receive the ball to start the second half. This is Chris Tyree on the return. And it's a good one. Out past the 30-yard line.
Chris Tyree on the return.
Katie?
Well, Greg, to your point, Dino Babers just told me that we're going to see a change.
We expect Carlos Del Rio-Wilson, who started his career with the Florida Gators and then transferred to Syracuse this past summer. But for now, it's up to the defense to find a stop. There is Carlos. We'll see if he does get the call with the injury to Shrader. Tough spot to come in against Notre Dame, trailing by 14 points. Here's Diggs, patiently waiting for blocks and just carrying Syracuse defenders ahead all the way to the 48-yard line. Just more of the same as he goes for 14 yards.
Yeah, and you just think about where Syracuse is defensively, and look at the left side. I mean, Mayer and all the left tackle and the tight end just mowing Syracuse defenders off the line of scrimmage. That's been much of the theme throughout the first 30 minutes, and clearly going to be a theme here in the second half as well.
Marlo Wax, the linebacker, went for a ride on the back of Diggs. It'll be interesting to see that rush chart for Notre Dame, because between the tackles, they have been dominating, as you see more of it with Diggs past midfield. Well, let's look at the first half rush chart, Greg, and it is easy to understand what we're dealing with.
As you can see, I mean, it's straight downhill. Of course, did have nice gain to the left-hand side. The one play to the right was on the opening drive that essentially took points off the board. They ran it on 1st and 10 and got dropped for a loss and got off schedule. Really, the only thing that stopped Notre Dame so far has been themselves when they've opted to throw the football.
Second and 7. Diggs will make it 3rd and short. He was cut down by Isaiah Johnson, who made his first college football start last week at Clemson.
You can see Tony White, the defensive coordinator, desperately trying to find an answer for this run game.
That defense nicknamed the Mob. And they come up with a tackle there short of the line to gain, as it was Okechukwu with the tackle. Diggs only went for about a half a yard there. So on 4th down, they're going to bring in the big package. Extra tight ends come in with Holden Stays and Mitchell Evans and Audric Estime, the running back, who has been a bulldozer of a back in this game.
Watch out for that quarterback sneak, too. When they motion Evans back inside, he's been very effective with that play so far. Here it comes.
They did it earlier, and they're going to do it again. They go back to it. Do they get the push they need? Yes, they do. So this has been happening now for the last 2 weeks. Mitchell Evans 4 times has been under center in the last 2 games with success.
Yeah, they're going to put tight end / SS, sneak specialist, next to Mitchell Evans here moving forward, because I don't know how you stop it if you're a defense. I mean, they held up pretty good initially, but as you can see, Mayer in behind him and Estime in behind him as well. I think you might even seen Pine get in on the action. It's very difficult to stop that quarterback sneak, especially when the guy's long and powerful.
Mitchell Evans, 6'5", 255 pounds. Estime, he is cut down, as it was Justin Barron who surged in to slow him down just enough.
Syracuse, you look at what they've done all year long. I've been pretty dang good against the run, but this is a really good stable of running backs and a powerful offensive line.
Pine on 2nd and 8 to pass it. Downfield and going up and after it, but incomplete, was Merriweather. He was defensed by Jason Simmons.
Another situation where it's well covered downfield. Pine opts to throw it. I think he had his back wide open underneath again, though. I mean, if they're going to drop out and defend the deep ball, drop it to your running back right there over the ball. There's plenty of room. And this could have been tipped up and potentially intercepted, but a nice defensive play there, too, by Syracuse and Simmons.
3rd and 8. But with the wide receiver screen incomplete as he threw it nearly into the ground in front of the feet of Lorenzo Styles.
I don't know if Pine didn't really get a good grip on that football. Looked like he kind of did a little bit of a double take as he tried to throw it around the defender coming off the edge, but I don't think he had a good grip of it. Watch as he kind of hangs for a second and tries to throw it around him, and the ball just dives low on him.
John Sott will look to get the pin punt here. Fair catch at the 5-yard line. The process continues for Tommy Reese and Drew Pine. Couldn't get the third down there.
At Progressive, if you want to protect the homes and autos of those who bundle, you must become a true master. When you can take the ball from my hand, you'll be ready.
Does this mean I'm ready?
I mean, technically, I guess. Yeah, if you want to do it that way.
The newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
I be like, I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
Meet Febreze Small Spaces, the most convenient solution to lingering odors in any small space. No batteries and no outlets needed. With one firm push, Small Spaces gives you 45 days of continuous freshness. Easily tackle odors anywhere. Febreze Small Spaces.
Your fingerprints are on the murder weapon. They think he did it. Come back with me to police headquarters.
You want my help? I'd kill for a macchiato. Not literally.
But he'll find out who done it.
I can solve this thing.
Daddy's got to talk to the murderer right now. Confess Fletch. Certified fresh. Buy it on digital now.
The best tailgate setups have the best of everything. Like barbecues, beverages, assorted meats, flat screen, sunscreen, decorative centerpiece, tongs, sun hat, 50 pounds of shrimp, chairs, chapstick, cherry pie, Gary Streisky, Jason Fitz, and an ice sculpture in the shape of a Pegasus throwing a Hail Mary. Graham's ready to party. Are you?
We got this deadline coming up. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. Yeah, I'm really liking what you're doing with this overall shape.
Balance.
Yeah, I think the difference in the Why are you green?
It's Halloween. The force is with me.
I would have thought that you had more Halloween spirit.
I express it after work.
Happy Halloween.
The Good Doctor. New Monday on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Glad you're with us watching the ACC on ESPN. High above Syracuse, New York. Great view, sellout crowd, and orange out for this much-anticipated showdown with Notre Dame. New quarterback again as Sean Tucker gets it. Carlos Del Rio-Wilson in for Garrett Shrader. What happened to Garrett Shrader, Greg?
And as he was rolling out to his right, this was the sack earlier by Foskey. His right foot kind of gets caught underneath Foskey. And as you see him try to come back up, he steps on it and goes straight down. We don't know because he didn't favor it, isn't walking with a lip or anything, but it looked like that right foot or right ankle area, that's what's injured.
Del Rio-Wilson nearly picked off on his first pass of the game. That was Cam Hart driving on the ball. So Carlos Del Rio-Wilson, he's 6'2", 230 pounds. He's from Georgia. He started his career at Florida. He's athletic, has a good arm, hasn't seen playing time because of Shrader's success. Came to Syracuse this summer. He played at a very good program in Georgia, McEachern, Powder Springs, 7A school, and then his senior year went to Cartersville. Of course, that's where Trevor Lawrence was an all-time superstar in high school recruiting.
And watching him before the game, he throws a nice ball, pretty accurate there. It was just well defended by Notre Dame.
3rd down and 8 from his own end zone, incomplete. It was off the shoulder of Devon Cooper, who tried to turn and wrap back to the right, but couldn't secure it. So the 4th 3-and-out for Syracuse. Yeah,
and the ball is just a little bit late for Cooper. It's thrown just a little bit late, but I mean, you got a backup quarterback, man. I mean, you got to make that play for him. As Cooper, you can see it's just touch on the back shoulder, man. But that's hard on the receiver when he's moving with great speed across the middle. If it's just slightly thrown off target, it's often difficult for them to reel in. But the backup, man, you got to make that play for your guy.
Now a tough spot for Max von Marburg, 3/4 of the way in his end zone. And it is not a good-looking punt at all, as it goes out of bounds somewhere around the 34-yard line. And we'll be back shortly. Now a look from Ram Trucks.
Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Dean Thomas had the touchdown reception just 17 seconds before halftime. 21-7 is our score. Notre Dame has 251 total yards of offense, 146 on the ground.
And in a normal situation, you have all the momentum and you're on the plus 35. I'd take a shot. But with how Notre Dame's running it, man, I don't know how you can justify it.
Estime, as he goes ahead. Great field position for Notre Dame to start after the poor punt. He's to the 31-yard line.
I think this is just demoralizing, too. I mean, if you're a defense, and much of what Syracuse does defensively, we talked about it earlier in the game, they're not big enough. They're just not big to just hang in there and just weather the storm. They have to move, and they have to shift. Well, with the Notre Dame run game plan, a lot of it is just double teamed, and they're just pushing those smaller guys, not allowing them to move. It's been difficult for the Cuse to defend.
Estime again, this time off left tackle. It's another first down. The big running back from St. Joe's Regional in New Jersey, the Big North Super Conference, showing how super he can be when he goes downhill.
Yeah, and pretty nice, too. I mean, he's the big back that wants to go A-gap to A-gap, right behind the guard, right behind the center. It's showing right there. He can get to the edge, too. A really nice cutback there from Estime. Felt like he was poised to take off earlier this year, has had some issues with ball security. You can see what a load he is when he gets a full head of steam.
This time just a yard and a half as Deuce Chestnut made the tackle.
And that's about all you can do. As you see, Deuce Chestnut, number 0, the corner, he has to go low. I mean, that's about the only way to stop Estime.
Kentucky, Tennessee tonight on ESPN, 7 o'clock, college football primetime. It's going to be a good one in the SEC. And then right here on ABC, Michigan State at Michigan. Second and 8. Diggs is met in the hole at the 13-yard line by Michael Jones.
They continue to run that stretch right there. They haven't run it a lot today. But if they get into that, then that opens up some of your bootleg stuff. So expect Tommy Reese, if they're going to try to run it a little bit more off tackle, that'll set up getting Drew Pine going back away, and you can cut the field in half. Right here, obviously, big 3rd down. You got to be thinking he's looking in the direction of number 87, Michael Mayer.
Star tight end. Will it be here as he glances over?
Got man coverage, too. I mean, if I'm them, I'm running a little fade right here. I'm throwing at that front pylon on the back shoulder.
Pine.
There it is.
As Mayer looked back, and the ball was already over his head into the end zone. Cinco Clark had coverage.
And Pine's got to be a little bit, in a perfect world, you'd love to be just a little bit more patient, but he's got pressure coming off the left-hand side, which forces him to have to throw it early. I mean, it's almost impossible as McDonald delivers a big blow. You got to kind of allow that guy against press coverage to work, and you didn't have that luxury with the pressure coming off the edge.
It'll be a 31-yard attempt from Blake Grupe. Came to Notre Dame this year as a grad transfer after being a record-setting place kicker at Arkansas State. And he adds to the Irish lead, 24-7 on this day here at the JMA Dome where they have an orange out.
Spicy buns, spicy sauce, spicy seasoning, spicy jalapenos, ooh, spicy fries. Boy, Arby's getting loose with the spice on the new Diablo sandwiches and fries. Arby's, we have the meat.
New customers get our best deals on all smartphones.
That's right.
But what if I'm already a customer?
Oh, no problem. Hey, Cam.
Oh, same deal.
Yeah, it's kind of our thing.
Oh, it's a great deal. What if I'm new to AT&T?
Cam, can...
Oh, okay, nice.
Hey, but what about for existing
Oh, it's
customers?
the same deal.
It's the same. Is he okay?
It's not complicated. With AT&T, new and...
Try Vicks NyQuil Severe. Just one dose starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to 9. For max-strength nighttime relief, NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, best sleep with a cold medicine.
Okay.
The best tailgate setups have the best of everything, like barbecues, beverages, cherry pie, and an ice sculpture in the shape of a Pegasus throwing a Hail Mary. Rams ready to party. Are you?
You up for an orange-clad Taco Bell Live Más student section? Of course, student sections across the country, Greg, are competing to be the Live Más student section here all season long. You know, these two teams have played a couple times at MetLife. They've played at Yankee Stadium, but it's been since 2003 that Notre Dame's been here. It's fun for the students.
Absolutely. I mean, all my buddies, a lot of them from Rome and upstate New York, a bunch of Bonnie guys. But they all, the Irish are their team, so the Irish very big here in Central New York.
Bonnie's guys?
Oh, yeah, big Bonnie guys. Yeah, love Olean.
You got to explain that to me.
I'm a Bonnie, too.
Aflac trivia question. Of course, Sean Tucker, excellent running back for Syracuse. Became Syracuse's single-season rushing leader. And we asked, whose record did he break?
I feel like there's like one of 3 possible answers here.
Well, some of the all-time greatest running backs have played here, right?
Correct.
You get Heisman winners. You got all-time legends like that guy right there.
Pretty good player, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
That'd be my guess, Jim Brown. I really don't know.
You got Floyd Little from New Haven, Connecticut. Rio-Wilson completes this to Tucker. And Tucker goes ahead for 8.5 yards. And then you have somebody else. You got a guess here?
I mean, Floyd Little, Ernie Davis would be the only other 2, right?
So Tucker breaks the single-season rush record last year. Whose record did he break? Guy who went on to win the Super Bowl.
What?
The Giants, Joe Morris.
Wow. But I'm not even close there.
Rio-Wilson with time and gets it complete to Gadsden. Their best weapon on offense, finally with a chunk play. Just what they needed as Carlos Rio-Wilson with a spark for the Orange.
And a nice throw, too, by Rio-Wilson. I mean, nice little switch release. Throw it right in behind the Notre Dame defender. Very nicely done. Finally, you hear Gadsden for the first time in quite a while.
30 yards to Rondé Gadsden. Rio-Wilson, this time he's going to be brought down as that pocket collapsed on him right away. It was Jordan Botello bringing down Carlos Rio-Wilson.
And good pursuit right there. You see the pressure off the left-hand side by Bertrand, but kind of forces Rio-Wilson to his right. Botello's there to drop him. They've done a really good job of being disciplined in their rush lanes today, Notre Dame has, and haven't really allowed a lot of quarterback scrambles as a result.
Garrett Shrader injured on the sideline, and that ball's incomplete. And it was off the hands of Gadsden. Could have hauled it in, but bobbled for a moment. Says that's my fault. Be 3rd and long.
Yeah, that's 2 drops now by Syracuse wide receivers. I just wonder if Gadsden felt the footsteps, knowing that there were a couple gold helmets waiting to put one on as he came inside on the slant.
3rd and 13. Redshirt freshman from Georgia, transfer from Florida, got to Syracuse this summer, and now forced into action with the injury to Shrader. 3rd and 13, he's going to run it. And he's got legs, and he's got himself a first down, although a flag is down back at the 40-yard line. So we will check on that.
Holding, offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
That's Chris Bleich, the starting right guard, who's also a transfer from Florida.
You'll see Bleich working on the right-hand side. Watch him right here. He engages with Bertrand, and as he's starting to fade away, it looks like maybe he tugs the jersey with the left-hand side. As you can see, it almost looks like you got a face mask right there. As you can see it, face mask might have been the more appropriate call, but nonetheless, big penalty there for Syracuse.
First penalty of the game for Syracuse, Greg. 3rd and 23. Now Rio-Wilson's going to check down to Tucker. And Tucker, as the crowd's saying, where's the flag at the end of that? And as they work it down to the 36-yard line. There's Clarence Lewis there defensively.
Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't feel like that was late. He was in bounds, and
well, the flag that's necessary on that kind of play is 7 days too late.
Correct. Yes,
Clemson
correct.
Game.
But that similar approach can be applied there with continuation, if you will. That's if the hit is initiated in bounds and carries it out of bounds, you hang on to the flag.
Now,
right
they're
there.
at the 36-yard line. It's 4th down. You're trailing this game by 17. The crowd is booing as the place kicker comes on the field.
Yeah, I mean, is a field goal going to... I mean, it doesn't really change a whole lot.
Well, they're going to discuss it. They're going to call a timeout here. 5 minutes to play in the 3rd. We'll take a quick break as Dino and the coaches talk things over.
The people behind the grill. More first leg of the road trips. More second brats before 10 a.m. More 3rd time's a charm. Switching to Ram.
It's big, it's back, and it's still $6. Get the big box y'all love today. That's not the only thing that's back. Order Popeye's Cajun Turkey while you can.
This ring is a commitment. After we got married, I got very sick. He would come every day to help me walk again. And now I'm back. This is a reminder
that love endures all.
Express your extraordinary love. Jared, love brilliantly.
Today's pros need today's tools, and the Home Depot is here to help. With job site delivery to keep you on site and on schedule, and equipment rentals to make sure you can take on any job. Plus, when you join Pro Extra, you'll earn perks on every dollar you spend. Earn perks 4 times faster when you join. Register and use your Pro Extra credit card. New tech, new tools, new ways to grow your business, all at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
You know, those mornings when it takes just a little bit extra to get you out of bed? This might be it.
Wake up to the goodness of Jimmy Dean.
You want to launch the world's largest streaming channel in over 40 countries, all in one go.
You want to bring banking to millions of people who've never used a bank. Whew, that's a doozy.
You want to make grocery stores without checkout.
You're selling fashion for who?
Avatars.
Buy a car with a text?
No.
Absolutely not.
It's a no.
What is happening here? Are you crazy?
and then this like beat came to me. Want to try it out? Bring the bass in a little bit.
Andre Schmidt's going to stay on the field to attempt what will be about a 54-yard field goal for Syracuse off the timeout to try to cut this to a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah, I don't agree with this at all. I don't understand. I mean, you're down 17, but it feels like more. So I can understand, hey, make it a 2-touchdown game, but the defense has had a difficult time stopping the Irish already. I think you need some touchdowns to get back into it.
54-yard attempt for Schmidt is good. Syracuse's all-time scoring leader. All-time leader in field goals made. Very nice job by the whole ops. By Belinsky, the snapper, and Barron, the holder, and then the good, steady strike from Schmidt.
Yeah, really nice kick there. I mean, that thing, wasn't sure it was going to have enough distance. It just does, and it's right down the middle. I guess that is a bit of a feel-good, though, for Syracuse, right? I mean, you really hadn't been able to do much offensively. You finally get into a position where you can get some points. Maybe Dino felt like he had to take him at that point as a result to kind of get some life into his offense.
Greg, you know what time of the year it is? Tuesday on ESPN. It is the College Football Playoff Top 25 show presented by Allstate.
Are you ready for it? That's the question.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Who's your number one team?
Oh, don't get me going in that conversation right now. Can we please watch Tennessee play football?
Who do you have ranked?
Can we watch Georgia and Florida play today?
If you love ball, you would have a top 25 ready to roll at all times.
You know my take on talking rankings in the middle of a Saturday. You'll see 5 upsets if I say one word. 24-10, Notre Dame has leaned on that run game. Syracuse able to get the field goal moments ago.
Denver's kick through the end zone for a touchback.
Tess, I asked Tommy Rees about his heated exchanges with his quarterback like this one we just saw moments ago. He says for outsiders it might seem jarring, but for us it's just another day at the office. Pine actually told Rees, if you stop coaching me that way, I'm going to think something's wrong. I'm going to get mad at you. I want to be coached hard. So apparently Pine welcomes telephone calls like that.
Doesn't everybody in a talent-based business want to be held accountable, want people around them to make them better?
I think so. I mean, I think it's awesome.
Diggs take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
I think that's accountability is huge, and some guys respond well. Like, hey, I'm going to show you then, right? I mean, I always enjoyed kind of getting yelled at. It kind of woke me up, right?
And I'm sorry, who's your college coach?
Occasionally,
the greatest of all time.
Occasionally, yes, did run into the wrong side of some rippings, but it's good. It really is. A lot of times it wakes a player up, and they play much better as a response.
Short pitch, Diggs on 2nd and 7. And this is the only place where, as you noted earlier, as Marlowe Wax makes the tackle, they haven't had success running the ball, and that's to the outside.
And that's really because you're playing into the athleticism of Syracuse. Syracuse is undersized and fast. So why would you want to run sideline to sideline against them? Marlowe Wax tracks it down and makes a big play. And now Syracuse with some real momentum for the first time in quite a while.
3rd and 7. Dropping 8. Pine with plenty of time on 3rd and 7. Coverage downfield, and then he swarmed. How did he even hold on to the ball with gear crashing down on him? And Pine is slow to get up. Driven into the ground by Jatius Gear. First sack of the game for Syracuse.
And just relentless pressure there as you see Gear tracking. Pine had an opportunity. It just had to happen a little bit faster. And as you're a right-handed quarterback rolling to your left, it's so difficult to get around and get set ready to throw. He just can't do it with enough time. And Syracuse makes a huge play. Great job of Pine, though, hanging on to the football there.
Now you can sense just a little bit of energy here at the Dome. They tried to come after John Sott's punt, and the fair catch secured near the 33-yard line by Pena. So Syracuse ball, 2:46 to play here in the third after they had the field goal drive. Now the defense responds with 2 good plays, including the sack by Gear.
All the momentum now going for Syracuse. That defensive stand was excellent. Probably the best they've looked defensively in quite a while. Let's see if their offense can continue to feed off of it and take advantage of what's pretty decent field position.
Remember, new quarterback for Syracuse is Garrett Shrader. The starter is out injured. Rio-Wilson in as he gives to Tucker. And Tucker can't find much on that left side of the line. Shrader got injured, saw him go down with a lower leg injury in the first half. Carlos Rio-Wilson playing in the second half. He's the transfer from Florida. Very athletic, good arm. Hadn't had much playing time. Just got to Syracuse this past summer.
But he's been on the mark. I mean, so far, he's been very accurate throwing the football. He's just 3 of 6, but he's had 2 notable drops that were right in the receiver's hands. So he's been throwing a nice ball so far.
2nd and 8. Rio-Wilson going to wind it up, take a shot downfield. And just off the fingertips of Hatcher. Umari Hatcher, if he strided through it, perhaps, and a missed opportunity.
Oh, man. I mean, so close. It looked like it was going to be a perfect throw. It was. I mean, that's one. Just talked about the fact that he's had 2, make it 3. I mean, it's a difficult catch, no doubt. But that's one that Hatcher absolutely has to reel in. I mean, that's a potential game changer. He wins over the top and gets behind the defense, and he just can't track it down.
Pena motions out on 3rd and 8. Rio-Wilson has been somewhat fearless just stepping into this spot. And here's Tucker as he lowers that shoulder at the end of the run on 3rd and 8. And that spot is going to move the chains. First down for the Orange.
It's a great job of taking advantage of numbers there by Syracuse on the 3rd and long.
They got pressure, is picked up. Rio-Wilson on the run, gets it complete as he goes to Alford. Big target downfield at 6'6", and all of a sudden, with a backup quarterback, with a crowd that's starting to roar just enough, there is some momentum here at the Dome. 23-yard completion.
And this Syracuse offense has certainly come to life. The Notre Dame defense that looked impenetrable there for quite a while, not looking as much right now. Let's go back to that 3rd down run. I mean, this is the thing of beauty. Look at this. I mean, you have 2 defenders on that side of the ball for 3 blockers. I mean, this is a steal right here. You have great numbers. I mean, you even whiff there on the left-hand side by Ellis, the left guard, completely whiffs, and yet it still doesn't matter on 3rd and long. And then you follow it up with this, just really nicely done on the scramble drill by Rio-Wilson. I mean, he looks very calm, very composed. And this is definitely the best Syracuse's offense has looked all night.
That's Justin Adamilola, an outside edge defender who was down for a moment for Notre Dame and then walked off to the sideline. So after the 23-yard completion, first down Syracuse at the Notre Dame 34. Rio-Wilson with time, good arm, and inside the 10. He just fired that to DeMarcus Adams. You're getting a good look at Carlos Rio-Wilson.
Just another great throw by Rio-Wilson. Working that little bang-eight glance. Up and over the top of the defender, and a great catch as well. Passing game, man, it's almost unrecognizable compared to what it was earlier in the game. Rio-Wilson, remember, 5-9, but 3 drops.
He is spinning it. First and goal. Tucker. Can he get there? Yes! And that train horn sounds a little louder now, doesn't it? They have found something with Carlos Del Rio-Wilson here in the third quarter. Sean Tucker takes it in from 4 yards out. Back-to-back passes of 23 yards and 30 yards. And that sparks that 67-yard scoring drive that only took 2 minutes and 21 seconds, Greg.
Just an outstanding drive yet again by the Orange.
And Schmidt caps it with the extra point. All of a sudden, it's just a 7-point lead.
Right here, a little handoff on the sweep, and Tucker gets to the edge. Couple defenders kind of lurking inside, anticipating inside run as Shrader looks on. His offense finally starting to move the football. I mean, what was just a moment ago a 17-point lead that felt like 50.
It really did.
It really did. I mean, as you can see right now, Del Rio-Wilson has been very effective throwing the football, and his receivers would help him out a little bit. Those numbers would be even more eye-popping.
Remember, he played at a very high level of Georgia high school football. Finished up his career at Cartersville with Trevor Lawrence played. They went to the state championship in the season that he played there. He was a 4-star when he went to Florida and then transferred here to Syracuse. Let's go to the studio and check in with Kevin.
Joe, updating you, our early window right now, TCU about to strike again on offense, only up by 4 over on ESPN. Houston doubling up USF. Arkansas in control on the Plains against Auburn, and it's tied up at 3 apiece over on ESPN on the app between Miami and Virginia. We'll keep you up to date. Right now, Ohio State 16-14 over Penn State. Back to you.
Thank you very much. And now listen to this crowd for a defensive series against this Notre Dame offense. Sellout here at the JMA Dome. Pine trying to escape, and he tucks it and takes it for just a few yards.
This is a big opportunity here for Notre Dame. I mean, the way you now are going to take to the fourth quarter, and you ran the ball beautifully all game long. Well, in the third quarter, especially at the end, Syracuse started to find some answers. What will Tommy Rees do in the fourth quarter to put a drive together and to squash any momentum that Syracuse is trying to build?
Syracuse defense did their job moments ago. They came up with the sack of Drew Pine. Then their offense took to the field and said, we're going to march right down with the backup quarterback and have our star run. Now their defense on the field trying to get a stop on 3rd and 5. Drew Pine and the Irish against a 3-man rush. Pine extending the play, finally being chased on 3rd and 5, and that's incomplete. It was Darton who started tracking him down. Thomas was the intended target, and now that's the 2nd straight 3-and-out for Drew Pine and the Irish offense.
Just nothing going there. 3-man drop. A 3-man rush, 8 guys back in pass coverage. It's really well defended by Syracuse, and Pine tried to give his receiver a chance, just a little bit too low.
Sot punts away. Syracuse set to get the ball here in the fourth quarter. Pena on the return, and he is taken down by Lindsey. This season, Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund, and we thank Allstate for that.
Really what's gotten Syracuse back in the game has been the passing attack. You would never expect that, too. Taking a redshirt freshman, Carlos Rio-Wilson, in for the injured Garrett Shrader. And all of a sudden, the offense has found some life, but these receivers have stepped up, and the offensive line's done a pretty good job in protection as well.
Now Rio-Wilson, as he's going to tuck in and dive ahead, and you're just seeing that spirit and how he's been galvanizing his teammates, energizing this crowd as well as Garrett Shrader looks on.
It's almost like every single player on offense said, hey, man, we got to ramp up our level of play with a backup quarterback in the game. The urgency's been better. The timing on some of the throws have been just the tiniest bit off, but, man, they've been accurate. It's really been impressive to see the response.
2nd and 3. He's going to keep it himself, and it's a good pull and a first. With Rio-Wilson.
I think if you look at Al Golden, too, they got to find an answer because now we've kind of been putting a little bit more attention to the passing game because that's what killed him on the last couple drives. Well, the running game starting to come alive a little bit now with Rio-Wilson doing some of the work.
First down to pass again. Batted in the air and an interception. A diving effort from Leofau. Maris Leofau with the pickoff.
It looked like up front, big Howard Cross, the defensive tackle, got a hand on it wisely, too. Only 6 foot. The reaction of Rio-Wilson, he just took off running because you know it. As soon as that ball flies north, it's often feels like it always ends up in the hands of a defender. Just an unlucky break there for the quarterback who was on fire prior to.
Game started with an interception, a pick 6 by Notre Dame. And now that. Tyree tries to muscle his way right to midfield. Really, Tyree, who had a memorable moment against Syracuse a couple of years ago, had a 94-yard touchdown run.
And the challenge now has to be to the offensive line for Notre Dame. He ran the ball so beautifully in the first half of this football game. Really ran it nicely through some of the third quarter as well. But the last couple drives, they just haven't been getting the same kind of push against that Syracuse defensive front. Syracuse is more capable of winning those battles right now, so challenge is on the offensive line to reestablish the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 6. Tyree makes one cut and dives ahead. Will be close to that line to gain. The 3rd and probably less than 1 there as Chestnut made the tackle. 3rd and 1. Tyree easily moves the sticks.
I kind of like that right there. If I'm Notre Dame, I don't want to necessarily get into tempo at all, but the urgency needs to pick up a little bit. I understand, hey, you have a lead. Your defense is a little bit on their heels, so maybe you want to take the air out of the football a little bit, but the urgency, especially as they get to the line of scrimmage, really hasn't been there the last few drives. So I like right there they went with a quick snap, see if they can't catch Syracuse off guard.
As Tyree, offset blocker in front is Sherwood. And he'll take that block and utilize it to go ahead for 2.5 yards. Okachupu with the tackle of Tyree.
A little surprised that we're not getting a heavy dose of Audric Estime. I mean, he's your hammer at 230 pounds. I mean, he's the big body back that you want in the game in situations like this. Instead, they're opting to go with the big hitter, Chris Tyree. Maybe if he could squeak through, he'll take it the distance. But the big back's always been my lean, especially in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 8, Tyree again. Not much here. It'll be a 3rd down chance for the Orange as Derek McDonald made the tackle of Tyree.
I think this would be a good opportunity here for Notre Dame to utilize a bootleg. They've run the ball pretty well on this drive, and Syracuse is going to sell out against the run, even on 3rd and long, because you're pretty close to field goal range. You can definitely still run the football in this spot if you're Notre Dame. So I'd go with maybe a little fake underneath to get my quarterback moving.
Third and 6. Drop back Pine to the outside, and that is caught for an Irish first down by Colsey. 11-yard reception on 3rd and 6.
And kind of bobbled initially there by Colsey as he's backtracking for it, but good concentration to secure it. And an excellent conversion there for the Irish. Expect to get back to the ground and pound now with the big back Estime in.
And downfield, and a flag will rein in as the intended target was Jaden Thomas. Jahad Carter got caught up in it.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And that's a good penalty by Jahad Carter. I know that you never want to give up a first down, but double move right there underneath. Little stop and go by the receiver, and he grabs him. It would have been a touchdown if he doesn't, though. So a good penalty there by Carter.
Just the 2nd penalty on Syracuse today. Estime, 17th carry of the day, and it's a touchdown. 11-yard touchdown run from Audric Estime.
How do you like 14 personnel? 1 running back and 4 tight ends. Well, I love it a lot, especially if my tight ends block like this. Look at the right-hand side, Evans. Look at how long he has to hang on that block. Driving the defender off the ball. Estime cuts right off in behind him and finds Pater. What a huge drive for the Irish after it felt like everything was starting to go against them.
Isn't it amazing how one turnover can turn everything around? And all of a sudden, momentum shifted with a Notre Dame kind of drive, power running, and a 2-touchdown lead again.
When you order from Domino's, you can get more than just pizza for $6.99. You can get specialty chicken, savory pastas, oven-baked Parmesan bread bites, molten lava crunch cakes, and medium 2-topping pizzas as well. We didn't stop at pizza, and you don't have to either.
Freezing cold. Blazing heat. Rain-X premium silicone wiper blades are engineered to withstand the most extreme conditions. They last 2 times longer than traditional wipers. If Rain-X premium silicone wipers survive these conditions, clearly they'll last in yours. Rain-X, outsmart the elements. Find Rain-X silicone wipers at these retailers.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
introducing IHG One Reward.
I draw on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach, you don't need to get that personal. The State Farm Personal Price Plan just helps you create an affordable price.
It happened again.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah. Are they still at it?
What do you think?
1, 2, down, up. They just don't stop, do they?
Nope.
What's that noise?
Devontae got a tuba.
We all know it's a problem, but no one wants to talk about it.
Yep.
You gotta do something about all those Alabama players in the house.
It's the elephant in the room.
Exactly, and it's really uncomfortable.
No, literally. The elephant is in the room. You should come home.
Tomorrow's Halloween.
She's dead.
Fourteen-point lead for Notre Dame. They scored after the interception with a quick drive. Let's check in with Kevin.
Let's go to Happy Valley here, Booger. And how about Penn State's offense converting on some key fourth downs?
Love the formation, quads, single receiver side, throw the backside slant.
Tyler Warren basically converting there. And then on 4th and goal, Katron Allen.
You got to love it. The more physical team is winning today, Kev. The Buckeyes can't run the ball.
Yeah, it's a shock right now. Penn State up 21-16, reminding you our 3:30 game featuring Brett Bielema and his recent run.
Nothing says Big Ten like Brett Bielema.
Yeah, perfect.
Sean Tucker takes it ahead for just a yard. College football rankings are brought to you by Goodyear.
So fascinating what's going on right now in Happy Valley. We did Penn State last week. I know Notre Dame fans say, wait, what about us? I mean, yeah, they didn't look great, to be honest with you. So Ohio State clearly maybe not quite the team that a lot of people thought they were.
They got pressures picked up for Rio-Wilson, who should have had it complete to Rondé Gadsden. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Just a little bit off the mark there. I'm not sure if Rio-Wilson, remember, a backup quarterback, how he doesn't get a ton of reps throwing it to Rondé Gadsden. So maybe just a little bit off the mark, thinking that Rondé was going to settle it down right there. Rondé was running through it with full speed.
Brought down right away. That was Foskey. He's a heck of a player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Good NFL prospect on the edge for Notre Dame.
And that's so tough. I mean, one-on-one, working against Bergeron on the left-hand side. And it's just right there. I mean, he just goes a little speed to power, but he keeps his eyes inside, man. That's what I like so much about watching Foskey is
Kalen Ellis is down for Syracuse, starting left guard.
Spicy buns, spicy sauce, spicy seasoning, spicy jalapenos, ooh, spicy fries. Boy, Arby's getting loose with the spice on the new Diablo sandwiches and fries. Arby's, we have the meat.
For everything we need, for everything we want, for everything we do. We're all better off with an ally.
We have this deadline coming up. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts. Yeah, I'm really liking what you're doing with the overall shape.
Balance.
Yeah, I think like the purpose and design.
When disaster strikes, what really? It's not rugs or furniture. What matters most is getting you back on your feet. And you deserve a company that knows what matters. Belfour, restoring more than property.
The number 3 means perfection. It's a party, not a crowd. In some places on Earth, it even evokes the divine. Choose between the advanced and dynamic 330i, the adrenaline-inducing M340i, or the electrified 330e. It really is a magic number. The 3. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. See your local BMW center today for exceptional lease and finance offers.
So?
The new iPhone 14 Pro. It's amazing.
Yep, the camera is incredible. And you'll get our best deal.
Nice, but everyone should get it.
Everyone can get it.
Every new customer.
And every existing customer.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Every iPhone.
Okay, my work here is done. Everyone gets the best deal on every iPhone.
Best one yet.
Everyone gets AT&T's best deals on every iPhone, including up to $800 off iPhone 14 Pro.
Are you coming for my job?
With all the pressure of the playoff chase, anything can happen.
If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win? If it's us versus them, who you think gon' win?
What are you most interested in seeing with these first rankings?
Well, Reese, I'm interested in seeing a lot with these first rankings, and I will see it 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. College Football Playoff Top 25 show presented by Allstate comes your way then. Syracuse punting away Max von Marburg. 5th Syracuse 3 and out. Their 6th punt today. Oh, it is blocked! It is blocked again! Notre Dame with another blocked punt. Time and again this is happening as Notre Dame has now blocked 5 punts this year. Brian Mason, the outstanding special teams coordinator, is finding a way, and Clarence Lewis got it.
And you see just rolling right off the left side. I mean, unblocked, untouched. I don't know how you can let that guy just come free. I mean, I'm not an expert when it comes to punt protection. Might be the thing I know least about in football, but I mean, I don't know how you have a fast guy with a full head of steam on your punter.
By the way, that was James Williams, the punter there, as Notre Dame takes it in for the touchdown. As quickly Estime just puts it right in. So James Williams came in to punt for von Marburg. And Brian Mason's group that has really dialed in on punt block. And they come from different angles. That's one of their keys. Every week, it doesn't matter if it's the A-gap. It doesn't matter if it's coming off the stunt, off the edge like we just saw. But that is now 5 times this year that they have blocked a punt. As Estime goes in for the 2-yard touchdown. And Groupie will tack on the extra point. And you blink, and it's 21 points. Coach Mace, he says that's how we do it.
Behind every house with the full-size candy bars on Halloween is a store.
To name yourself after the highest peak in North America? Maybe that's audacity. But towering above is exactly what the first ever all-electric GMC Sierra EV Denali Edition 1 is built to do. With 754 horsepower and up to a GM estimated 400 miles of range on a full charge, it is the Denali of EVs. The Sierra EV Denali.
The redesigned Corona Slim can, named after yours truly. Slim is one of my old nicknames. You better ask somebody. Might as well call them Snoop cans. You like that?
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach.
Chiefs, easy, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
That's half the fun of a new house, seeing what people left behind in the attic.
Well, saving on homeowner's insurance with Geico's help was pretty fun, too.
Oh, it's a tiny dancer.
They left a ton of stuff up here.
Well, enjoy your house.
Nope. No, thank you.
Geico could help you save on homeowners and renters insurance.
Newest thing from Pizza Hut isn't pizza at all. It's cheesy, so crispy, loaded with toppings, and just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut melts, just $6.99.
Celebrity Jeopardy! New Sunday, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Wednesday, November 9th, the CMA Awards is live.
This is country music's biggest.
Miranda Lambert, Morgan Wallen, Carly Pierce, and more. Plus, can't miss, one-of-a-kind collaboration.
It's going to be a great show.
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards live November 9th on ABC and stream next day on Hulu.
College football on ABC is presented by Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats.
The classic corn maze this time of the year, Greg. And I think some Syracuse fans feel like the last few minutes has been a maze of trying to get through this Notre Dame team and find your way. And all of a sudden you look up and it's 21 points.
You know, guys, our crew has seen its fair share of special team struggles this year, and I thought it was interesting. Marcus Freeman said, how important is special teams to you? Do you have starters who want to be on special teams? Obviously, Clarence Lewis right there gets the block, but Isaiah Foskey had two a week ago, and Foskey told me, I absolutely love performing on special teams, doing my part there, and coming up with momentum plays like we just saw.
And that's a culture indicator. You know, I mean, if you have guys that really want to be on special teams and take great pride in the 10 snaps a game that they get on special teams, that's significant, man. Those are the guys you want on your team.
Rio-Wilson escapes for the moment. Not having great players out there and strictly using it developmental or dismissing it at all. If I told any coach, an offensive or defensive coach, that 40-plus yards is going to be determined on these plays, right, how much care would you give it?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it completely changes games. I mean, when we were on the call for Florida State LSU, I mean, special teams totally determine the outcome.
Rio-Wilson, good job to keep it alive and gets it to Sean Tucker. What do you think of Rio-Wilson, just this quick spark of the second half of what you've seen?
Well, obviously the interception, not really anything he can do about that, but he's played well. I mean, if it's a glimpse into the future for Syracuse, you got to be very excited about what you have in Del Rio-Wilson.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 19 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Aerial coverage today has been provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. And there's the beautiful academic quad here at Syracuse, magnificent campus in central New York, and they've done so much to improve the dome as well. JMA Dome, refurbished, rebranded, and a better fan experience. Other side of the field for Del Rio-Wilson as he gets it to Yamari Hatcher. And that'll be a first down for Syracuse out to the 47-yard line. Look at the time he has and gets it complete to his big target, Gadsden.
This is a really nice throw here from Del. Abbott.
This time chased and had to throw it away as he had Botello tracking him down. College football today on the ACC Network, 3:30. Wake Forest, number 10 in the country, taking on Louisville. 8 o'clock, it's Pittsburgh against North Carolina. Notre Dame team went to North Carolina, put up 45 points that day. Road win back on September 24th.
Pittsburgh's been a puzzle this year, man. I mean, like, to be as efficient as they were throwing it last year, and now
Jackson.
Of course, we saw the best performance of the year by Notre Dame against that North Carolina team, and they beat them up and down the field. So, be a good indicator for Mac Brown's team to see just whether or not they've improved. Because if there's one thing Pitt will do, Pitt will hit you. They are physical. So, see how much more physical Mac Brown's team's gotten since they played the Irish a few weeks back.
To the end zone he goes, and that is intercepted by Brandon Joseph, who had the pick-6 touchdown return on the first play of the game, and now his second interception comes with 6 minutes to play. They're going to repeat third down off the penalty.
Just massive right there, of course. Watch him. Look at his eyes. His eyes are to the right the whole way. What that does is it just takes that free safety right over the top. That's something you got to learn as a young quarterback. You got to be able to manipulate defenders with your eyes. He stares it right down. It takes the defender right to it.
They call it offsides, and it's third down and 5. And wide open at the 15-yard line is Gadsden. He just posted up there, and it's a first down for the Orange.
A good response there by Del Rio-Wilson.
And now the fade. And in the end zone, it's a touchdown to DeMarcus Adams. There's some fight and some talent with Del Rio-Wilson that you're seeing here in this second half.
Really nice, too. Adams getting over the top, but getting behind the defender. It looked like the defender there, Lewis, it's almost like he was playing for the back shoulder.
Did he step out of bounds prior to that? Oh, that was close.
It was close. Look at that one more time. He definitely secured the catch and dropped the foot in bounds after the catch, but did he step out just before, and did he reestablish himself, of course? Might be something that they're looking at. Of course, every scoring play is reviewed.
Previous play is under further review.
Watch that foot along the white sideline. Matt Austin, rules expert, what do you say?
Well, it did look like he stepped out of bounds. I don't know if they're going to have the perfect shot or not, but if he was not forced out and he stepped out of bounds before, he can't be the first to touch the pass. So even if he got his foot back up in the air, it would be an incomplete pass after the foul for illegal touching.
And what does it require, Matt, to reestablish yourself in bounds after you're forced out?
Just get a foot back in, or any body part.
Doesn't appear, though. I mean, that was the last step would be the one that was out. So this could actually result in an illegal touching if they have a view that would prove that he did step out of bounds.
That is correct.
It's really difficult to tell, though. I mean, of course, indisputable video evidence beyond all doubt to overturn.
See that left leg, left foot close to the way. Remember, ruling on the field's a touchdown. You have the distinct colors there of the blue turf and the white sideline. So the ruling stands. It is a touchdown for Syracuse and Dino Baber's squad. Adams arguably their fastest wide receiver. A block punt, a quick score. Pushed it to 21. Syracuse came down the field with Rio-Wilson passing the ball. And under 6 minutes to play, they make it 38-24 Notre Dame lead.
Gillette presents the Gillette Labs with Exfoliating Bar, a razor designed to take the hassle out of your routine with effortless shaving and one efficient stroke. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades, so nothing gets between you and a quick and easy shave. All with a lifetime warranty. Gillette, the best a man can get.
It's me, Pete Davidson, here to tell you about the most amazing breakfast you could ever dream of, according to me, the Breakfast Crunch.
You know why man's so different this year? Feel sense. It changes everything. So I can finally throw the rock.
Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable.
And put the ball where only I can catch it. Give the team. Yo, hit boy, what you think?
I could make the biggest hit in the game, man.
All right, let's see it then.
Now that's a hit.
So, what all can you change with FieldSense?
Everything.
Yeah. Hit boy.
Rated E for everyone.
I'm the captain of the Pee Wee football team. We may be small, but we are
Mighty.
annoying. And you are so tired from playing defense against us that your focus is about to ride the bench. Go, go, go. Thanks, Mom.
Bye.
Come on, come on. And if you have cut rate car insurance, then not even a Hail Mary will save you from paying for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me. Awesome.
Took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. Then we took a hard left in East Africa. A right at Baja. A 180 in the empty quarter. And that 65-degree incline at Hell's Revenge. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere.
It's just a standard work shirt.
Hey, way to stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reg.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Oh man, that's cool. I'm really liking what you're doing with the overall shape.
She's a little shy right now. She understands she's being painted.
Opening shot. A car comes in to the front.
Whoa, Birdie, come on, yes!
Are you goofing?
No! Yes! I'm good at this.
Back here on the campus of Syracuse University. They have been energized with a season that started 6-0, back-to-back sellouts for the first time since 1987. They declared this an orange out today. Notre Dame got up pretty big here in the fourth quarter. Syracuse still fighting to the end as they're going to be setting up for the onside kick. Andre Schmidt will be the kicker for the onside. See if he gets the double bounce, and it is easily secured by Michael Mayer. You talk about having a guy on Hans team. Pretty good guy to have. What's up, Kevin?
Tess, let's get an update from Happy Valley and Boog. Ohio State just 37 rushing yards, and then Travion Henderson going on.
Yeah, I love the backside block by the tight end and the vision by Travion. Touchdown.
41 yards, a 35-second drive, and then they force a third turnover, and then here comes the offense again for the Buckeyes.
Neat little play, quarterback waggle, tight end goes the opposite way. Nice little wrinkle there by the Buckeyes.
C.J. Stroud to Cade Stover. Right now, Ohio State up 30-24. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Logan Diggs, a very active first half as he goes ahead. Remember, College Football Playoff Tommy 5 Show presented by Allstate comes your way Tuesday as you see the playoff predictor.
And here's how I had it coming into the day. The reason why a lot of people are going to say, Ohio State 4, what are you doing? Well, they don't have great wins. I mean, they have 2 wins against teams that are over 500. Notre Dame is one of those. Now, going to be a strong reaction. If they can hang on, I have a lot of respect for Penn State. I think they will definitely slide up, maybe even as high as number 1 with the performance that they have on the road against a team that I also think is a top 10, top 12 team in the Nittany Lions.
Diggs on 2nd and 6. And remember, you can go to ESPN.com/Allstate Playoff Predictor to check out your team's chances to make the college football playoff. Is that you? Do you have like an abacus in the back, a slide rule? Is that
if they want me to be on the committee, I would love that. That would be amazing. But
you on the committee?
I would love that.
You'd be too strong of an opinion.
I would love that.
The meetings would be an absolute disaster.
They would.
If you were on the committee.
But we would have good fellowship after we all fought.
Yes. After the fellowship would be great and with tremendous hydration. But during the meeting, you'd be so strong and opinionated. 3rd down and 4. Estime, as he has done time and again today, just going straight through the middle of that Syracuse defense. So you think about Notre Dame, and we expressed it earlier, for some reason they play much better on the road. Obviously, with Tyler Buckner being injured, they had to turn to Drew Pine. There's some ups, there's some downs, but on the road they have been good this year. And now, next week, it's going to be Clemson at home.
And let's hope that they play their best football at home. I think, look, this is a team that's very physical. This would be a war. It might not necessarily as the backup quarterback now in for the Irish.
And all you have to do is hand off to this guy, Estime, adding to his big day. As Steve Angeli is the true freshman quarterback who's in now to close out this game.
Estime just refuses to go down. As you can see, Drew Pine, his day is done. The offensive line, I mean, Estime, especially at this time of the game, I mean, shoot, man, 55 minutes, 56 minutes. And now I got to deal with a 230-pound back in the open field. Forget about it.
Who has 123 yards.
Right. He's had a nice day, and it's good to see him getting confident again after some of the inconsistencies that he's dealt with a little bit this year as well. He's clearly a very talented guy.
Diggs cut down near the 1-yard line. And what was said earlier, listen, and Syracuse has given us long time. And even Dino Babers said to us, he said, listen, there's an effect after you play Clemson, and then you know you're going to be going into a game against Notre Dame where you're just physically outmanned with their offensive line against your defensive line.
Yeah, it's so hard to bounce back. I mean, the Clemson game is a war, kind of like we just talked about, and hey, you get to back it up now with 71 snaps Notre Dame's had. They played 90 snaps last week defensively. I mean, at some point, fatigue and attrition is going to take its toll. And man, I'm so proud of the Syracuse team. I am. I'm so proud of what they've accomplished this year for sure. But they're not yet at the point, from a personnel standpoint, to be able to weather the storm like a Clemson and then come back and be just as good the following week. It's just they're going to be a little bit more up and down. The good news is, if you look at their 2 deep, specifically on defense, literally everybody's back. Everybody's back next year with the exception of maybe Michael Jones, who's probably strongly considering leaving early for the NFL draft.
Diggs is going to try to take it in, but he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
And I like the message that Dino Babers is sending right now. I mean, calling timeouts. Yeah, calling timeouts, saying we play for 60 minutes. I know you guys are gassed. I know you guys are exhausted, but a goal line stand here would be albeit a footnote on a disappointing day, but it might carry over some momentum in the next week's game. You see
what's the road ahead for Syracuse.
We talked about it too. I mean, Pitt, doesn't get a whole lot easier. Pitt's inconsistent, but like Notre Dame, like Clemson, they're physical, very, very physical. So it'll be a tough one again next week on the road. This is a very difficult schedule for Dino Babers, especially in the back half.
Steve Angeli came in for Drew Pine. He's been handing off to Diggs and Estime, and now 3rd and goal. As Diggs is going to get stacked up at the line again. That was Kayvon Darton. And Darton, that fire plug of a defensive tackle who's hard to block and a former walk-on who earned a scholarship on the first day of fall camp.
I love that for Syracuse right there. It might not seem like much, but you're just getting absolutely gashed all day long, and especially in short yard situations, you're a little bit outmanned. But here, 58 minutes into the game, you hold up and you stop the bleeding. So that's something that they'll start with in film room tomorrow when they get back to work. Is, man, hey, we did it. We figured it out at the end.
Rupi will just tack on 3 more. 41-24 is what this looks like with 1:58 to play. Let's go to the studio and Kevin Nagandi.
That's our early window. Let's take a look at the games that are going on late here. TCU only up by 3 in Morgantown against West Virginia over on ESPN. Jackson State and Dion undefeated, up 20-0 against Southern over on ESPN3. Arkansas in control on the Plains. As you see, they highlight Bo Jackson for Auburn. And Virginia doubling up Miami, but no touchdown. 6-3 right now in the 4th quarter on the app. Back to you.
Marcus Freeman said earlier, hey, we're a good football team that doesn't always play that way.
That's so appropriate, by the way. I think that sums it up beautifully. I mean, they have the pieces, they have the talent, they have the culture, they have the physicality. But for whatever reason, man, they just are kind of hot and cold. And obviously it's his first year as well. I'm sure there's things that he's done and decided this year that he'd like to have back as well. But when this team revs their engine, they can go, that's for sure.
You mentioned Clemson coming up next week. And then it's going to be at USC, top 10 team to close out the year.
And obviously that SC game is huge. Shouldn't have much trouble with Navy or Boston College. No disrespect to your Eagles, but
oh no, that's a throwaway year right there.
But Clemson next week, very, very interesting, and that's really the last big hurdle for the Clemson Tigers en route to a potential 12-0 season.
And Botello gets to Rio-Wilson. He's been active, Jordan Botello, off the edge. Incomplete, looking for Gadsden. I feel like there have been a lot of drops today from some of these receivers. There's just close missed opportunities.
That really have been. It's a difficult catch over the middle. Guys flying around. The receivers have definitely left some plays on the field for the backup quarterback, Rio-Wilson.
3rd and 17. Botello again tracking him. And he'll be caught well short of the line to gain. Reminder that tonight on ESPN Plus, you could head to New York and we got the great Vasily Lomachenko, 3-division world champion, returning to action on Top-Rank Boxing from Madison Square Garden. 4th and 6 for Syracuse, as that's incomplete. And obviously, listen, there are so many stories we cover in sports, but to think that an elite world champion making millions upon millions of dollars and was about to fight a mega fight, last year made a decision that, no, I am going home to my home country, to Ukraine, to put on the camouflage and fight for my country. He spent 3/4 of a year back home serving his country and now has returned to the United States because where he's from, he feels is safe, he feels his family is secure, and he's re-engaging in his sport. He stepped away from millions upon millions of dollars last spring to go defend his country.
That's amazing. It really is. I can't wait to check it out tonight. Never been to a fight at MSG, so you better drive fast down that street right there.
Yeah, right there. We're going to get going down in New York. Double dip this day. Little Notre Dame Syracuse on the front end and World Championship boxing from MSG on the back end with this beautiful day in central New York. It's interesting to just see what's happening between the lines here because Kayvon Darton is still talking to the end, right? This guy's listed as a generous 5'11", but you talk about a fighter. Oh, that's a natural-born fighter right there.
Dude plays his heart out every snap. I love watching him, and he was disruptive at times today. He really was.
Syracuse cut the lead to 7, but then Notre Dame outscored them 17-7 in the fourth quarter. Great hard running by Estime with 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then the block punt that really boosted that lead.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what Notre Dame does from here. I think they are a dangerous team, especially when you look at what SC has potentially in front of them and what Clemson has in front of them. Do not mess with the Irish.
Notre Dame wins it 41-24. For Katie and Greg, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let's send it back to our college football scoreboard.